cool. Nice and short and sweet. Okay. And we just went over the weight, which was pretty quick. Okay. The glucose is a little bit more involved, so let's go over the glucose now. All right. So you pick your finger so many times a day, a certain amount of times a day, depending, especially if you've got diabetes or, depending on what level you're at, okay? Your doctor would often ask what time of the day that you picked your finger, right? And sometimes they want to see it a lot before breakfast, or they want to know before lunch or after lunch or whenever, right? So this way here, you can pick the time of day that you're actually testing your blood sugar. So let's just say before breakfast. You just click this little button here, and it brings the poll down. So we'll click before breakfast, and our glucose is 6.3. Not too bad. Okay, enter, just like everything else, and then you update. Just like everything else, okay, and now it's in the computer, so you want to go view it. Now, this is the cool part about it. Okay, this is where all of them go. After lunch, before breakfast, after breakfast, and so on and so forth. Every one that you do will go in this list. This table here is one list, and it creates its own chart, okay? Okay, and then you come over here, let's slide it back over, okay, and here's before breakfast. So if you took it, if that little thing showed before breakfast, it'll go in this column. If you look, okay, here's the one, there's the date, 6.3, that's the one we just put in there, okay? So that's in the before breakfast. If I would have chosen after breakfast, it would have gone into this column. And these columns are never the same length because you might be doing more readings before breakfast than after breakfast, or vice versa. Depending on, sometimes your doctor wants you to take more readings at certain times of the day. This sorts out those times. So if you have taken it after breakfast, it'd be in this table here. Okay? And before lunch, after lunch, it goes before breakfast, after breakfast, before lunch, after lunch, before supper, after supper, and bedtime. Those are 7 times of the day that you can record your glucose readings. Okay? This table creates charts. So you're going to have a chart for this, a chart for before breakfast, after breakfast, before lunch, and so on and so forth. So let's go take a look at these charts. So you go back home. It's like everything else. We were viewing data. Now we can just go view charts. Okay. And here we go. This is the main one that was down that side. Okay, so that shows you your trend line from when you started to how you're doing now, right? So that gives you an idea, wow, my blood sugar is improving from when I started, okay? This chart here picks the last 3 months. So it gives you a tighter, see, like this here is probably that amount right there. That gives you a tighter thing that's more current rather than going right from the very beginning. Okay? And that's the overall ones, right? So it also creates these charts. If you look, there's your before breakfast, after breakfast, before lunch, after lunch, and so on and so forth. You can use these charts as tools. That's the best part about this. Let's say after breakfast, okay, look at the trend line. The trend line's going down. That means that Pam's doing a pretty good job. She, it shows that that's after breakfast. So that means that she's eating good breakfast foods, and she is. She eats a smoothie every day, every morning for breakfast. So that just solidifies it. Before lunch, okay, it's basically going down a little bit, basically staying the same, roughly staying the same. So she's doing pretty good there, and coming in within range. Here's your high and low, is the red behind that green. Here's the high and low here. So if you see your trend line going up, you can use that and say, oh geez, after lunch my trend line has been going up. I better watch what I'm eating for lunch. Maybe I want to make better choices. Okay, I'll go to the meal section and see what's low in sugar. And that's what that is, okay? So that's a good thing. go up here. In the next video, we're going to go see the message center. All right, that's the cool one.